Alrighty, y'all. Today we're going to check out what happens when these young American vloggers and tourists discover that there are indeed different rules, traffic rules, and different things to expect when traveling abroad, especially to different European countries. This should be good. Let's go. American discovers the rest of the world does have traffic rules. U.S. driving in Italy this summer without a care in the world. Okay.
Then the destination is on your right.
Mail lady just dropped off all of these violations, apparently, from Italy, from Patrick driving.
Speed demon.
Do you remember doing any of this?
I can't recall.
Driver drove unauthorized vehicle into restricted traffic area. I mean,
Of course I did.
are we banned from Italy?
Jeez. Are those all different tickets? My God, how many are
All
there?
of these,
It looks like there's like 10 or maybe more.
all of these violations, apparently.
Damn. Oh, that's hilarious. That sucks. That sucks. Look, like, so let's be reasonable here. I expect, you know, if someone travels for the first time across the world, you know, it is a big shock. It's a fun experience. But it's different, right? And humans are humans, right? If you've been only in one corner of the world and you go get to explore finally a different corner of the world, of course there's things that you won't expect. There's things that are different. Even if you're trying to just be innocent and safe, you might accidentally break a rule, maybe like a rule if by driving, you know, maybe doing something that you're used to at home and it happens to be illegal where you are now. There's reasonable expectation of mistakes, but this is bad. This sounds like their little caption here was way too true. They did not care at all, and it really caught up to them. I would love to hear in the comments, how much do you think these are for? Because I can't really see. You know, how much are these citations? Like, how much are the fines in Italy for this type of thing? I'm assuming like speeding and improper,
Unauthorized vehicle into restricted
like unauthorized vehicle in a restricted travel area. You know, various things. It looks like. How much are they looking at, and how does this go forward? Do they actually have to pay all those? Is there a way they can maybe consolidate that down? If, you know, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Obviously, it's also kind of like, oh, they're screwed. My assumption is they wouldn't be banned, but they're going to have to pay up for sure. All Americans must be accompanied by an adult. I used to work in Central Australia where there were lots of American tourists and servicemen. The Americans would go argue with the locals about it's legal to do that in America. Almost as much fun as watching 18-year-old Americans discover they can drink and gamble legally. That would be fun. Yeah, the younger ages for stuff, seeing like the shock in people's eyes. But yeah, that one is just, those are just bad. Either tourists or in this case, of course, servicemen. That's just being short-sighted on their part, that they think that if it's legal in the U.S., it's automatically legal everywhere else. Now, this comment says, assuming that all infringements are the same, it looks like this one is for driving in a ZTL, a restricted traffic zone. It effectively stops non-residents from driving in high traffic areas, especially city centers, to minimize congestion. It pays to research traffic laws in countries before you go there. Okay, so if that's true, by the way, this law, let me start out with that does make sense. You don't want a bunch of tourists that aren't used to daily traffic flow in an area going to this one area where it's already high traffic and then mixing, because it's going to be high traffic locally mixed with high tourist traffic. Sounds like a nightmare. I totally get that. Also, though, yes, you should research traffic laws. I just feel like this type of thing, I'll be honest, I've never heard of that. I've driven in big cities here. Yes, I know it's different. That's not really a thing, as far as I know, that I've ever encountered in big cities. So before seeing this, I wouldn't really even know that's a thing. And if you research traffic laws to the best of your ability, that might not even come up. Maybe it would. But what if it didn't come up? If you try to do your diligence and you're researching like you should, let's be real here. Some things won't always come up, depending on what sources you're looking at. So, I'm not defending them, but I'm just saying that some things can happen, and it's not that the people were ignorant and they didn't research. That's not always the case, in my opinion. Now, this is a lot. So clearly they were doing something wrong and should have probably realized that and got a hint somehow. Someone also points out, they could have read signs. But someone says, to be fair, the electronic signs for ZTLs are known to be very confusing, even for Italians. They say varco attivo or varco non attivo, which means gate active or gate not active. Which one would you guess it means that you can go in? And I'm glad someone had that point, right? Let's use some logic here. Not everyone's going to know the local things when they're from across the world. Sorry, right? If you're in a stressful traffic jam, you're driving in a foreign country to you, and then you see a sign, an electronic sign that's in a language you're not very familiar with, and you're already on the go, on the road, right? How are you going to be able to translate that or understand what it means? Things happen. I just think it's a little unrealistic to think that people traveling, even if they do research, will know everything like a local that's lived there for decades. Of course not.
Remember a couple weeks ago I went to Mexico City and forgot to bring a charger? Well, I'm in Germany now and I didn't forget, but that's a problem. I mean, I get it, different countries use different bricks, but what even is that? Every freaking outlet. I mean, I have USB-C cables, so I could just charge my phone off of my other phone or my speaker or something, but when those die, it's gonna be a problem. I don't understand why they can't just put one US outlet. It's not like I'm in the freaking Congo or Azerbaijan. This is Berlin. It's Americanized. I literally just ate out of KFC. Wait.
Holy shit, there's a lot to unpack with this.
I found something. The TV has USB Type A right there. Wait, do I even have a USB Type A cable? I don't think so. Hold up, my mouse for Minecraft. Hell yeah, we are so back. You guys remember a couple weeks ago I went to Mexico City and forgot?
Holy shit. Okay, did he just say Berlin is Americanized because there was a KFC? What the hell? Dude, KFC's worldwide, bro. And first of all, outing himself as a very close-minded American by going across the world to Germany and deciding to eat at a U.S. fast food chain. Oh my God, that cracks me up. I know people that have done this. Dude, go embrace the local culture. Go eat something different that you can't get here in the States. Live a little, right? Eat something different. I don't know, call me crazy. Second of all, this dude said, can they just install one U.S. outlet in all these places? That seems very, that seems convenient, right? That's when we design buildings across the world where we literally live in, our country, and that's about it. Let's just randomly think of the U.S. and let's integrate that into our engineering and our architecture. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's hilarious, dude. So this guy very easily, I'm pretty sure, I'm not as well traveled as him, but I'm thinking with my noggin here, maybe go to probably any corner store somewhere and get an adapter or just get a local charger, right? And then you can plug that into the wall and then it'll charge your phone. Pretty good deal. I'm sure it's literally just a few euros.
My fellow Americans, where are y'all from?
Florida.
Florida. What's the biggest difference you've noticed when you've traveled here?
No ice. Oh my gosh, water is a commodity here.
What? Ain't no way.
You never see water. When people are eating, I'm in a constant parch.
When I finally get to travel to these places, I really am looking forward to what this is about. And I'll report in on video. I just don't understand why I hear so many Americans say they're dying of thirst in Europe. I don't get it, right? We've sorted this out with viewers in the comments that you can get water, right? You can get water bottles. You can get water at restaurants. You can get tap water for free, and you ask for it, and the tap water is good. Or you can get sparkling water, and of course they'll charge for that. You can get bottled water, they're charged for that. But you can still get water. I don't know. I don't really get it.
When people are eating, I'm in a constant parch. We're charged for water everywhere. Oh, the bill takes a little bit longer than expected.
For you to hunt down the waitress.
I feel like everybody's very friendly here.
Friendlier than Florida.
I totally disagree with that.
Why do you disagree?
No, Europeans just like don't vibe with us.
In mine yesterday at the club, everyone was like, get these Americans like out of here.
Where do we cut?
Pause. You guys can't cut a line and be like, why'd they get rid of us? Like, bro.
They didn't tell you to get out because you were American. They told you to get out because you're cutting a line. They tell you that over here in America too. If you cut in front of me, I'm going to say something. Like, excuse me? I'm more focused on the skipping the lines thing and then wondering why people don't like you. We don't vibe with entitled tourists. We dislike it very much. Yeah, I mean, well said. That goes for anywhere. I don't think that's a European versus American problem. I think that's a person-to-person problem. Most people don't like if you act rude and entitled and act like you're the main character and cut lines. You're going to face problems anywhere for that. So it's wild how little liquid, including water, Europeans consume. Listen, I'm not saying this is a good portion if it's a non-diet soda, but I also in general think that it's wild how little liquid, including water, Europeans consume, both with meals and otherwise. Y'all are not ready for climate change. And there is the UK on the top and the US on the bottom for standard McDonald's soft drinks. The US small is literally significantly bigger in milliliters than the UK medium. The UK large is 500 mLs, which is somehow half, basically, of the US large, which is 946. Yo, that is crazy. Yes, I should drink soft drinks to manage my hydration levels. That is a excellent point. I don't know how y'all stay hydrated. Meanwhile, they're sipping on a large, Dr. Pepper. Yes, because the Vatican must have been in Washington, D.C., maybe? Me returning home after a week in Europe without ice, air conditioning, and Diet Coke. Damn. Somehow, maybe I'm different. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have a problem traveling at all. I feel like it'd be amazing. And I really am looking forward to it. Ice, we have. AC, it's winter. Diet Coke, we have. Plus, we have healthcare. Okay, this is from No Stupid Questions. Why is prostitution illegal but pornography is not? Could be Sweden, Northern Ireland, Norway, Iceland, or France defaultism. No, Reddit is an American company. You are a guest here, not the Americans. Do you use Spotify? You'd better say thank you to Sweden for letting you use it, and China for TikTok, and Australia for their Wi-Fi. This guy got heavily ratioed and hopefully taught a lesson. This is a video of a guy that was like impatient, right? There's a train going by, just, whatever. Now, if you'll notice, maybe this won't even make sense to some people, but we have, an airline called Southwest Airlines here in the U.S. Now, to be fair, there is, from what I read in the comments, a train company or whatever in the U.K. called Southwest. Now, the only problem with that is, yes, it would be extremely dumb of anyone, including an American, to think that there isn't other companies called that across the whole world. Now, believe it or not, if you go to any country, there is a Southwest part of that country. There's even Northeast parts. There's even Southeast parts, Northwest. Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy. But to be devil's advocate here, Southwest Airlines uses these exact colors. It's actually kind of odd to see a 3-color livery that is almost identical to the planes. The airplanes we have here in the U.S. from Southwest Airlines are literally this same color blue with red and gold, or this gold and yellow color. It is the exact same 3 colors with white text that they use. So I will say that is a little weird. But let's go to the comments. Is that a Southwest Airlines train? Southwest has trains. These are all Americans in the comments. Today I learned Southwest has trains. So I threw that in there because it's funny. Honestly, remember, not all these I totally agree with. Like, I think you could make that mistake. That even might have crossed my mind because the livery looks the same. And there's an image of one of the planes. Now, you got to admit, right? The text, the colors, they are very similar. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, another American realizing, or learning rather, that different countries spell words slightly differently. In actual English, that's how they spell it. Maybe we're the ones that spell it wrong. Right, now, this post I'm about to show is a perfect example of why I cannot stand how Americans are represented online because of people like this. It's a perfect representation of why I cannot stand politics. It's so childish, degenerate, and divisive. Thankfully, real life out there in the U.S. is pretty good. You know, really don't have many complaints. I mean, there is complaints, but it's life. I mean, it's generally pretty good. People are awesome in real life, thankfully, and it's not like it is online. But when you look at this, it gets really frustrating. So this was under a news thing, right? South Korea highway bridge construction project collapses, kills 4 people. That's terrible, right? You hate to hear about that. Anyone losing their life over something like this is just horrible. And, you know, it's very apparent that it's in South Korea, which is, last time I checked, nowhere near the U.S. But, of course, the Americans online do their job. Built under the Biden administration. I just know Trump is at fault. Like, let's blame it on both presidents, right? Like, let's try to make the divide real strong, right? It's like a bunch of whiny children with their fake teams that they think they're part of. It's hilarious. This is why I don't take part in this bullshit. Then it gets funnier. Why is this on national news? Like, are news companies that bored? So actually, the news it was posted on says in their bio that it's news around the world, right? That's the Earth right there. And it has quite a lot going on. Quite a lot of countries outside of the U.S. And news happens everywhere. So it's not national news. That's incorrect. Not to mention it's, again, very short-sighted, kind of messed up that you're saying they're bored when they're reporting this because it's kind of a big deal. And, you know, show some compassion for the people that lost their life. Like, geez, you're bored with this? Damn. I don't even know what to say about these people anymore. My God, they're insufferable. We don't even understand your first and only language. Yeah, there's an assumption that every single thing that happens in South Korea is either because of the U.S. or because of North Korea. The possibility that South Korea's happenings would have nothing to do with either of these countries is like an alien concept. Yeah, it is weird. I don't know what to tell you. But that's going to be it for this one. These are crazy. They're funny. They also wear me out after a while. So I can't wait to see the comments in this. And I got a lot more fun videos coming up for the weekend. So hopefully I'll see you there. Hope your day is going great. I appreciate you watching. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. I'll catch you later.